so for this question, we have a simultaneous equations question, and we've very clearly got a linear equation here. But we've also got something a little bit different here. We've got a y squared term and an x squared term there. So it isn't as straightforward. Worth numbering both equations, something that I always do with any simultaneous equations question, because then you can quickly refer to either one in your working. First thing I'm going to do, you need to make the decision whether you want to let x equal or y equal something. And we're going to look at equation 1. I'm going to do it so that y equals something else, just because I think it's going to be easier to expand the y squared term rather than expanding something like 5x squared. So we start looking at 1 and we rewrite it in terms of x. So we get y is equal to minus 4x minus 1. We are going to substitute that into equation 2. So now every time that we see y, we will replace with minus 4x minus 1. So make sure you put brackets around it, because that will remind you to square everything. Okay, so that's the first bit. Next bit is to do the expansion of the brackets. When we've got this bit here, remember that we're essentially expanding a double bracket. So when we expand that one, you have that. And it helps to do it because, again, exam situation, you don't want to make any mistakes. By writing like this, it forces you to expand it as double brackets. So when that expands, 16x squared plus 8x plus 1. And fill in the rest. So we have that. Next thing to do is to collect all our like terms. So we've got 21x squared, then we've got an 8x plus 2x, so we've got plus 10x, and then plus 1. From this point, you can use a calculator or look to factorise. This one actually factorises fairly easily, so I don't need to reach the calculator for this one. Okay, so it's always going to be that particular one because of the one at the end. It's just an easy one to factorise. So that tells you from there that you can work out your solutions for x. So the first one, it is opposite sign here, so minus 1 over 7. And we've got this one, so again, opposite sign here, so minus 1 over 3. So x is minus a third. Right, so that's solved what x is. We just need to find out the y value. So we're going to sub each one of those back in. It makes sense to, I would sub it into this one. It's far easier to work out what y is using that, or the number 1 as well. But make sure that your working is clear as to what you are doing. Because this will also make sure that you pair up your solutions correctly. So when x is minus a seventh, y is going to equal minus 4 times minus a seventh, take away 1, which is minus 3 over 7. Other solution, when x is minus a third, y is going to equal minus 4 times minus a third, take away 1, and that one is positive a third. And always helpful just to round it off. Now you can write this as x and y equals, or you can write them as coordinates. I'll go with coordinates. So we've got minus a seventh and minus 3 over 7. And the other one, x is minus a third, and y is a third. And there you go.